For 5 years, the royal princes of the Hastina kingdom had been locked away in the elite Sokalima Academy, mastering the arts of war. Now it was time for their graduation. The Pendadaran Siswa Sokalima was a public exhibition designed to broadcast the martial dominance of the ruling class. But this dominance was carefully engineered. The academy's master, Guru Druna, operated under a strict mandate. He would only accept students of royal blood. Anyone born outside the palace walls, no matter how gifted, was categorically barred from entry. The ultimate product of this closed system was Prince Arjuna. Given access to the finest weapons, endless resources, and undivided attention, he had become the academy's golden boy, universally praised by the kingdom's elites as a flawless warrior. Hridaya, the son of a royal chariot driver, had begged to join the academy. When Druna threw him out for being a commoner, Hridaya retreated to the deep forests, subjecting himself to punishing, isolated training just to keep pace with the princes. The kingdom's military doctrine had completely detached itself from merit. By prioritizing bloodlines and birthright over actual skill, the establishment was quietly building a society ready to crack under its own weight. On the day of the exhibition, the system appeared to be working perfectly. Prince after prince took the stage at the arena, flawlessly executing combat maneuvers and easily dispatching their assigned targets to the roaring crowd. The event culminated with Arjuna. After effortlessly defeating his brothers and trapping a rival in a summoned cyclone, Guru Druna officially declared Arjuna the absolute best archer in the world. That illusion of supreme royal authority shattered when an uncredentialed commoner walked out of the stands and stepped directly onto the sacred testing grounds. Before the guards could stop him, this interloper raised a bow and fired. With a single heat-infused arrow, he instantly neutralized the magical cyclone Arjuna had just created. In less than a minute, a complete outsider, entirely self-taught, had publicly matched the highest martial arts the Royal Academy had to offer. The supposedly untouchable superiority of the elite class evaporated in front of the entire kingdom. The outsider introduced himself as Hridaya. Standing center stage, he issued a direct challenge to Arjuna for a one-on-one duel to prove, without any royal padding, who was actually the superior archer. The royal establishment immediately went on the defensive. Instead of letting their golden boy fight, the kingdom's officials stepped in to shut the confrontation down using bureaucracy. This structural diagram maps the exact rule they weaponized. Strict protocol dictated that a prince of Hastina could only cross weapons with a royal of equal standing. Hridaya's father, the chariot driver, rushed the stage to apologize for his son's behavior. The royals used this to publicly humiliate Hridaya, dismissing his challenge entirely, not because his aim was flawed, but simply because his father drove horses for a living. Faced with a genuine threat to their hierarchy, the institution chose to protect its closed circle. They were perfectly willing to ignore who was actually the best, so long as the myth of royal supremacy remained intact. Watching this play out was Suryodhana, the ambitious and scheming prince of the rival Kurawa faction. He knew he couldn't beat Arjuna in combat, but looking at the rejected archer, saw a massive political opportunity. Suryodhana stepped forward and executed a brilliant administrative loophole. He openly petitioned his father, the king, to instantly elevate the small village where Hridaya lived into an independent duchy. The king instantly agreed. With a single royal decree, Hridaya's father became a duke, and Hridaya became a noble. The class restriction legally vaporized. For the first time in his life, Hridaya was treated with dignity by the ruling class. Overwhelmed by the validation he had desperately sought, he embraced Suryodhana and swore an oath of lifelong loyalty to him. The heroes of the story had strictly enforced their class prejudice to protect their own pride. In doing so, they drove the world's most dangerous warrior directly into the arms of their worst enemies. With the bureaucratic barrier removed, the duel finally commenced. Volley after volley, Hridaya and Arjuna exchanged attacks, but neither could gain the upper hand. The fight mirrored itself perfectly, dragging into a complete stalemate as the sun began to set. As the tournament horn blew to signal the end of the match, Arjuna released one final arrow. Hridaya dropped his guard and took the shot directly to his bare chest. But instead of piercing him, the arrow shattered against a hidden, magically glowing layer of armor beneath his skin. Up in the royal viewing stands, Queen Kunti stared at that glowing armor, recognized the distinct sun-shaped earrings the boy wore, and she instantly collapsed in absolute horror. The secret she had buried for decades was suddenly standing center stage. The commoner the royal family had just mocked, degraded, and handed over to their enemies was actually Kunti's abandoned firstborn son, making him the eldest brother of the very Pandawa princes he was now sworn to destroy. The Sokalima graduation was supposed to be a simple celebration of Hastina's military might. Instead, by rigidly gatekeeping power based on the accident of birth, the kingdom had actively forged the weapons